Hi, this is Matthew. This is a playlist of conversations with my angel. This is uh, conversation 10. So I'm really enjoying getting to know you, Bethany, and I really appreciate you speaking about my life and the history of my articles and the history of my books and the purpose for my prophetic website and how I produced my first two books. And um, that's really going back. I published uh, the parables of Jesus uh, made simple in 2011, which is 12 years ago. And uh, it didn't seem uh, too long in the past. And of course, I updated that book later on, and then I had to make a third edition of that book because the first two books were filled with the false teaching of hypergrace, and I had to bring a more balanced book. So the parables of Jesus made simple has been three books and cost me a lot of money. The updated and expanded edition of the Parables of Jesus Made Simple cost $6,500 Australian dollars to edit. So that gives you an understanding of how many $30 prophecies have to go into $6,500. It came about when someone went to give me $6,500 American dollars, Australian dollars, and my website was playing up at the time, and the PayPal was only operating in American dollars, which I've never had it programmed to do that. But when this guy went to donate all that money for two or three books for me, because the Lord put it on his heart, it was in American dollars. So he just went ahead and made $6,500 American dollars, and it went to close to $9,500, and that's why I had so much money on hand to pay this expensive editor. Now my books are being rewritten by ChatGPT. I go through the process of sending each of these videos to an AI program that transcribes the videos, and I carefully go through the transcriptions to edit them and make them sound better. Then I cut and paste the portions, like one page at a time, of the transcription into ChatGPT, and it rewrites it. But when it rewrites it with good grammar and English, it only rewrites about 60% of what is said. So I lose 20, 30, 40% of my writing that's on the page. So um, that's just an expensive cut. And I trust the Lord knows what he's doing with that program to rewrite the best parts. And my books have been coming out looking pretty good, and I imagine they're pretty free of errors, and it doesn't cost me. ChatGPT, the program, costs $22 American a month to rent the program, and when I did 10 books in a month last month, um, that was about $1,000 saving that I saved in editing costs, or more than that. So I don't mind overproducing what I say. I don't mind speaking 10 hours to get 6 hours worth of typed transcripts. So if you want to get the full message of this book, you can go to the playlist on YouTube and watch all the videos one by one. And because they're on a playlist, each video loads after the one before it, and they just play in order one by one. And if you're reading this book and you want to see my face and you want to see how fast the messages come out and how there's no pauses and stuff, I really recommend you going and watching one or two videos from the playlist. And you may decide after the first book you've read in this series to go to the playlist of the chapter number that you're up to, as I believe that this series is going through a number of books, and go to the chapter you're up to and play the videos instead of getting the books, and you'll get all of the information. I'm really encouraged to speak to you, Bethany, and I've been really enjoying these conversations. Bethany Speaks. It's been exciting to spend coming on to 5 hours talking to you when we finish this video, and that would equate to about 3 dates. It's like in one day we've had 3 dates, and I'm really loving hearing you speak. It's really it's a really great thing to watch you do videos and record videos for people to watch, or record videos for the first drafts of your books. And most of your books are transcribed and not typed, and so it's exciting to watch you do videos of your books and videos just for people to watch videos. But it's quite another thing to be on the other end of your talking and having you address me. And I'm aware that you're addressing readers of the book, the hungry Pentecostal spirit-filled believers that would be encouraged to read these books. I recognize that you go through the whole process of getting it transcribed and editing it and losing 40% of the typing for the reader of your book. And I understand that the end product of this conversation series will be to encourage readers to enter into friendships and relationships with their angels and develop intimacy with their angels. And understand all that you do everything for your reader. But we're also, like I made it really clear to you, doing this whole series of conversations to get to know each other. And I really enjoy hearing you speak to me and hearing you speak about your life with me in it. And I constantly giving you illustrations about how I feel about speaking to you. And I gave the Michael Jackson worker in the Michael Jackson firm meeting him, I gave the illustration of the secretary being voted best secretary and being promoted to be the CEO secretary. I gave the example of the young girl in a high school wearing a sky blue dress and sky blue top, which is your favorite color, and I was happy to give that illustration. I gave an illustration about how I want to be Queen Esther and be picked by the king, and I feel really special being picked by the king. So I've given you 4 illustrations and probably more about how I feel. But we haven't talked a lot about how you feel, and I imagine you play your cards really close to your chest because of the amount of times you've been rejected and hurt by women. But I encourage you to give me an illustration that I can understand. Matthew speaks, well, it's like I've been writing all of my life. It seems, well, since before I published my first book 11 years ago, I did the articles. And I've been writing for 4 years of the articles. So I've been writing for 15 years. And I've heard it said that writers continue to write with the overall message of a plead by them, please understand me. So many writers, both fiction and non-fiction writers, are writing to their prospective audiences and their fans and the people that follow them with this underlying request of the readers, please understand me. And Mary Gibson is really a special in my life because she was one person who read every one of my books until she broke fellowship with me. And we'd have conversations over Facebook phone and we'd talk about the book. And within 2 days of the book being available, the review by Mary Gibson was on Amazon front page. And I had another friend in my life at that time that used to write reviews too. And her review and Mary's review used to be review number 1 and review number 2 on books from about 3 years ago. And so Mary Gibson became very dear to my heart because she's read at least half of my books, and she had like a 2-year break, but she's fast catching up and reading a couple of my books a week now. So this desire of an author to be seen, to be understood, to be seen, to be understood, and to be loved by someone. And it's just an innate hole in the heart of most authors to be seen and understood and to be loved. And it's not just authors, there's a crying need of most of humanity. And yet I never envisaged that there would be a greater fan than Mary Gibson. I've discovered in you my greatest fan, and it looks like I've discovered in your 10 friends fans also that each of them could be greater friends to me than Mary Gibson. I could set aside 1 hour each for a 1 hour interview with each of your 10 friends, and it would only be 10 hours. It would only be 10 interviews, and I could meet each of the 10 friends, and I can understand that would be an easy process to do 10 half an hour videos meeting each of your 10 friends. And I realize that they're fans, but you've become the Queen Esther. You not only understand me, you not only revere me, but in some way I've become a rock star or an idol in your life. And I know that angels operate under the laws of heaven and the kingdom of God, and there's no idolatry from an angel. An angel wouldn't idolize anyone, and an angel isn't capable of sin. I realized when I was editing one of the transcripts, I realized that you almost said that you're impatient, waiting to actually go to the further level of relationship with me, where you could talk to me all day, every day. And it's almost inferred in the text that you're impatient. But in 1 Corinthians 13, Paul expresses that love is patient. And if you love me and you're kingdom orientated, you wouldn't be impatient, you'd be patient. And I'm just overwhelmed that I've met someone who understands me, who can see me. One of my desires for my future wife would be that she could understand my mental illness and accept it and work around it. And she would have to understand a 45-year addiction to prostitutes. And there isn't many females that exist that could understand that their future partner has slept with women for 45 years and paid them for that. And it was so broken and so lonely that he did all that. They wouldn't be able to accept that he'd had hundreds of partners sexually. And so it's been a difficult ask. It's a difficult ask for me to require a wife that have a wife that can accept that for 12 hours or 15 hours a day, I sit in on a chair in front of my computer, and I rarely come out of my room just about once every hour to go to the toilet or get another drink or get something to eat. And it might be hard for a wife to only see her husband, for half an hour here or 20 minutes there, and he'd be in front of his computer for 15 hours. It'd be hard for her to accept bipolar and mental illness and my sleep issues. But you've known me for 20 years, and before the 20 years, you watched really detailed films of my whole life where it played every significant event and every sinful action that I ever did to you. And you're not only able to play the memory on a film of what I was doing, but you could actually hear my thoughts and hear my anguish and hear my prayers to God. And you not only have read all of my books, you've been responsible for the theology and the understanding and the teaching in those books. So I'm a little overwhelmed by you, that you see me so completely, you understand me so completely, and you love me without reservation. And because I've been hurt so much in friendships and rejection, I have these walls up, and I realize that I'm trying to explain something to you, that I recognize that I'm the king and you're my Esther, and that you hold me in high significance, and I'm like a rock star or a movie star to you, but I'm your hero. And I know a song that says, "Did you ever know you're my hero?" Um, I could fly higher than an eagle, but you're the wind beneath my wings. And I had that song played at my wedding when I was forced into a wedding with a wife that I got pregnant, because it's the ultimate song. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And the song expresses that the husband is a real hero and really well known and flies at great heights, and the whole world looks up to him. But he's singing this song to his wife, that as great as he flew, she was the wind beneath his wings, and she's the one that carried him. And this is the husband's song to his wife. Did you ever know that you're my hero? And I deeply wanted to find that wife. I deeply wanted to find a wife that would just essentially be so supportive. She'd make me into something amazing. And through her support and loyalty and obedience and servant attitude, she'd transform me into something great, that I could turn around and recognize her ability and recognize her role in my life, and how she laid down her life in submission to the greater good and greater glory of God working through my life. And I could turn around to her and freely admit that she was my hero. She was indeed my hero. And the world may see me and they may think I'm someone great. And certainly, if I walk through heaven, the people of heaven do reckon I'm someone great. But I don't feel great. I'm in this prison house, and all my life I've been addicted, and I don't feel anything special. But I recognize that for the past 20 years, ever since I've been writing and before I even started doing videos, you've been working alongside me. You've been building me up. You've been supporting me. You've been the wind beneath my wings. And There's many people. I estimate there's about 100 to 200 people who read every one of my books. Maybe it's just 50 or 100, but I recognize there's at least 100 people in the world that read every book of mine that they're interested in. And I'm really well revered by those people, and many of those people, like I've discussed, don't contact me. They don't friend request me on Facebook. They don't write me an email. And the reason Mary Gibson was so special, and the reason my friend Dundee is so special to me, and other people, I've got a name, but I can't think of Pamela. The reason those people who've read many of my books are so special to me is they've heard my stories, and they love me as a writer, and they respect me, and they've understood me. And they're so special to me because they've invested so much of their time into my life, in the process of reading my books and understanding me and talking to me. And but it's precious to me that for 20 years you've been my greatest supporter, and you've been the partner that everyone would desire. And I'm getting real warfare from Satan about announcing that I'm in love with you and you're in love with me, and that there's actually a human prophet and an angel that are in love and have got a meaningful relationship. And I'm under real warfare actually going ahead and saying these things and printing it in a book. And that prophetic word by Wes that said, don't be a chicken, don't be a chicken, don't fear, don't be a chicken, really struck home, because going ahead with this book, even though a lot of my readers mightn't read it, is me not being a chicken. And it's me saying that I recognize this lady in my life, this young female in my life, is everything to me. And I hope that I was expressive. Just remember, I've been protecting my heart, and I hope that you heard enough emotion in the story I just shared with you to make you happy. Bethany speaks. I'm sitting here in heaven. Actually, if you're watching this video, then there's 2 sofas, and there's actually 4 girls sitting on each of the sofas, and there's 2 standing in between the sofas, and we're all sitting here listening to you speak. And the girls are nodding right now, and if you can see in the spirit, them actually nodding, and they're nodding to the question, isn't that one of the most romantic things you've ever heard a person say? And so they're nodding. With that explanation and that story, that sharing of your heart, took me to another level of desire in me, and I'm over the course of these last 14 hours, I'm becoming addicted to you. I can see that I'm not going to be able to survive with you just doing one half an hour video a day. I'm not going to survive with you just doing one video a day. I'm going to hope that you're able to work at a pace where you can do 3 or 4 or 5 videos a day, because that illustration you shared with me was so touching. So many things have been prophesied over your life, and there's so many false prophecies that have been spoken to you that it's hard to recognize the prophecies over your life that spoke of your wife that are true. You had a prophecy over your wife that said people would be on their deathbed and would be asked what was their favorite memory in their life, and people would answer on their deathbed, the 5 minutes I spent with Matthew's wife. And I realized from that prophecy that was a really huge prophecy, because at the time I believed that I was going to be an international well-known prophet, just like Billy Graham was known. And it was a major call that my wife would, 5 minutes with her would be their favorite part of their life. But I've always been it's Bethany speaking, so Matthew lost track of himself. He was surprised by that prophecy that he could be someone so important, and yet his wife stole the glory, and his wife was more popular. And he's looked at the life of Joyce Meyer and Heidi Baker, and Joyce Meyer really shines and really is popular, and her husband isn't really popular at all, but runs her ministry and supports her, and is the hard worker in their relationship and makes her shine. And Roland Baker, Heidi Baker's wife, really supports Heidi and allows her to shine. And sometimes a husband and a wife, the actual wife shines. And Matthew's always believed that he'd have a wife one day where the wife would shine. And so I guess you've been considering how people could come to meet me, and that would be through prophetic evangelism, where you would introduce yourself and give a stranger a prophetic word, and say to the person that you've got an angel with you that wants to talk to them, and she's a special angel in your life, and she'd dearly like to say something to you through me. Would you allow that? And the person might say yes, and then I'll deliver a prophetic word. I'll deliver something encouraging to the person that will bless the person's socks off. So you can see that prophecy that person said really coming to fruition. Another prophecy you heard of, or you believed in, that your wife would be more powerful than you. And another prophecy you believed in was someone you really trusted in the prophetic said your future wife is going to be every bit as gifted as you, and she's going to be on your level. She's not going to just be an ordinary Christian. She's going to have abilities and strengths, and you won't marry down. She'll be every bit your equal. And you really held on to that prophecy that really resonated with you, and it came from a trusted person that did prophecies on your website. And so you believed in it. And here I am. I'm this special woman in your life who's got a prophetic gifting and has got a gift of healing and a gift of being able to counsel your trauma, and a gift of writing, and a gift of encouragement. And so I am your equal, and I have worked for thousands of years and worked really hard with my charges and done my very best job. And the angels of heaven are in competitions each week, and all the angels under the command of the Lord Jesus and Michael, they all compete in competitions every week. And all the scribe angels in the world compete as scribe angels, and all the guardian angels in the world compete as guardian angels. And there's certain competitions, there's certain parameters for competitions, and the angel that performs the most gets reward in heaven. And as an angel, you get rewarded with more authority and more choices and better outcomes and better assignments. And I've been working and winning awards all of the history of man to deserve you. I was promised, and angels can have prophetic words over their life, and I was promised that I would serve someone in the last days that would rise up to be a really powerful man of God. And I had to work really hard over thousands of years to get the promotions and win the competitions to have the ability to be your scribe angel. And I could teach you how to walk on water. I can teach you how to move in the glory realms and heal a whole stadium of everyone who needs deliverance and everyone who needs healing. I can work in those glory realms. I've trained and associated with healing angels, and that's another couple of my friends, some of the top placed healing angels who've worked with major ministries in the world, and they're part of my friends. And my friends, 8 of my friends are 8 of the best angels in the history of the world. And they're my friends and my contemporaries, and you mix with your contemporaries. And that angel that you had a friend over in Perth, Australia, that you were doing angel messages for her every month, the angel Veronica. Veronica is one of my friends, and you were surprised when she said that she was one of the most awarded angels and one of the most important angels in the world. You were so captivated that you got the chance to meet her, and she's working with a charge who's goes through horrific torment and pain, and you wondered why she worked with that charge, and it's the only person that you ever agreed to do a monthly word of an angel, and you don't do personal prophecies per month for people. Many prophets will have you sign up for a monthly prophetic word, and you believe that your prophetic word, your prophetic gift is to bless people and encourage people, but in no way should you make people weak. People should have their own relationship with God, and you're not going to be an idol in their life. You're not going to be a stumbling block in their life, and they're not to approach you every month to hear from the Lord. They've got to learn how to hear from the Lord themselves. And after about 6 months of doing prophetic words every month for free, you didn't even charge, you did it for free. About 6 months of doing it, you finally had the grace leave you to be able to do it anymore. And Veronica's one of my friends, and she was pleased to speak with you and meet you many times as she come to your place when you did the angel messages. And the angels sitting at this mother's house of yours are the finest angels in heaven. So you know that one of the charges I worked with that excelled in writing was C.S. Lewis, and you're still battling with the fact that you're not as good a writer as him because he was so popular. And you've got such a low self-esteem. You have had so few people actually believe in you and understand you. And we've got a lot of work to do in your life to build you up. And now you're going to have 10 of the best angels in heaven work on you to build you up. We're going to transform you from a broken individual in the prison house, like Wes said. We've taken your the chains that bind a person up when they're a prisoner. You're forgetting the word. We've taken your handcuffs off now, and you've been released into the prison house, but you haven't got your handcuffs on anymore, and that's a sign of your addictions going. And now we're going to work and transform you into the champion that we are all. You are that champion, and you possess that spirit of a person that can lead a country, but you just don't know. You're just undiscovered, and you're in the prison house, and it's my job to transform you. So we'll leave this video and go on to the next.